Yeah, almost there. Alrighty, here it goes. Let's hope everything's okay. Alright, heterodonascus. This means different kind of tooth, heterodon. Oh my goodness. She's awake. Look, it's RedRidge Reptiles washer. I need to check her out. I have to be real careful and gentle. This is a conda, which is a codominant gene. Half the offspring of this would share this. What that means is it has a reduced pattern. There isn't as much the pattern on the back, and it's not as busy. Here's the hatch date. That was nice. ID number. That's nice too. This is a nice deli cup. I think you might have taped it closed. Maybe not. I'm just.
Alright, well, we'll see.
There we go. Sort of a little hide for her right there. Oh. Now, isn't that precious? Oh, isn't that just cute as can be? She looks good. I'll just check her out real gently here. She's cold. Oh, are you cold? I'm gonna fix that. I'll warm her up a little bit. She's very cold to the touch. Look at that, beautiful. See how the pattern is so much more reduced than in a normal. So cute. Look at that long tongue.
Good.
I just want to warm her up just a bit because she's kind of cold. Get this white sides on the conda. The belly is black. She's very calm so far. Well, okay, it's time to put her back, I guess. Well, I picked up my new baby snake today. I made this dish for her. It's a lid, and they like to knock stuff over because they're really strong. So I put 8 quarters on the bottom of it to weight it down. I use 100% silicone, which is completely non-toxic when it dries. But this thing is shockingly heavy, and so I don't think she'll be able to topple it at all. Well, this is her setup. I have her, she's not going to be in the 20-gallon long, but her container will be, and let me show you that here in just a second. Okay, I've wired up some heat tape, and it goes under one end of this pencil box here, and I used 100% silicone to tape down the thermostat probe inside of the pencil box so that it doesn't get above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. As you can see, there are plenty of holes in the sides, and I used a small soldering pen to put all those holes in there. It is so much easier than a drill. Just be sure that you get a soldering pen that has a very small tip for the babies, because you don't want them to be able to get out through one of the holes. These holes are quite small, so she should be fine. I have the thermostat set to come on at 89.5 degrees and to go off at 90.5 degrees. And it gets to be, sometimes it'll be around 89 to 90 degrees, right where that thermostat is glued down with silicone. These are solid cardboard, and I found them at the dollar store and cut them so that they could make nice little hides. One for the warm end, one for the cooler end. I am going to be using paper towels as a substrate to keep an eye on the health of the snake. Make sure her droppings are not indicative of some kind of illness. Here are the two hides, one on the warm end, one on the cooler end. I had been using these temperature probes to kind of keep track of how hot it gets, but I don't think I'm going to need them much. If anything, it needs to go up a degree or two, but I don't want to do that unless I think there's a real reason to, because it's better for them to be a little too cool than a little too warm. Probably I should have a little rock in there or something for her to rub against when she needs to shed, but I'll get that later. Everything seems to be set up nicely. I'll have less junk in the 20 gallon at some point. I made the heat tape long because I'm thinking at some point I may want to build a small shelf in here and then have another layer of pencil boxes. Okay, this is my baby Western Hognose snake. She's a female conda morph. The conda morph is a reduced pattern. If you'll notice, Elmo's pattern is quite busy. This little girl came from RedRidge Reptiles in Arizona. She's a female Western Hognose, conda, 100% albino, so she has a recessive gene for albinism as well. The conda gene is very interesting in that it's a codominant gene. So her babies would be half conda when she had babies. If you were to breed this conda to another conda, you would get something called a super conda. And that takes the patterning out of the back altogether. And you can see her hatch date and ID number are on here as well. That's really interesting. This dish is a little bit more difficult to get open than Elmo's was, so I have to be careful that the dish doesn't go flying out of my hands. There we go. I finally got a little bit of a... There we go. Yeah. Oh my. I want to look at that hood. She says, I'm mean. Look at me. Oh, I got to get hold of her. Yes. Look at this lovely conda. Oh, hiss. I know. We're going to put her away. Once you get babies, you need to let them settle in for quite some time because they're very sensitive. And if you're also saying, that little pencil box is too small, and doesn't she want a friend? Well, baby snakes do better in a smaller container. They want to feel secure, and in a small container, they're more likely to eat, they're more likely to be happy. And if you put another snake in there with them, it would scare them and they wouldn't eat properly, and one of them would become dominant over the other one. And you don't want little baby snakes to be really upset like that. And she's a lot warmer than she was when I picked her up, so she's done a couple little bluff strikes at me. By the way, these guys don't actually really bite unless they think you're food. That's the only time that they ever bite. And Elmo's a real shy feeder, so I don't ever have to worry about him. But see that they usually strike with their mouths closed. That's called a bluff strike. They give a little hiss, psh, and then they like that. See? And another thing they do is look at her. She's starting to hood up a little. She's flattening her head and neck out, and that's her ribs expanding in order to make herself look bigger and more scary. Now, were I to antagonize her, she might move into another hognose defensive mechanism, which is to play dead. And the Western hognoses don't do it as often as the Eastern hognoses because the Westerns are a little less flighty. But what she would do if I were to antagonize her at this point is she would roll over on her back, stick her tongue out, open her mouth, and just lie there. It's absolutely hilarious to see it on, if you've seen it on YouTube or whatever. I do not recommend actually trying to make your snake do this, because you don't want them to be stressed out. That's the last thing you want. But they even commit to the role to the point sometimes where they'll pop blood vessels in their mouth so that they are bleeding from the mouth. They look so very, very dead. And if you flip them over, onto an upright position, they'll immediately turn over on their backs again, so they look dead. You pick them up, and it's like you're picking up a rubber snake, and then I'm so very dead. And so, but look at her, she's hooding up again. But look at how her pattern is reduced. We got sort of cream with brown spots. She'll probably darken with age. Most baby snakes do. But I've decided to stick with a Muppet theme. I have a male western hognose snake named, look at her hood up, named Elmo. And I just had it hit me today what she needed to be called. And I decided she's Cookie Monster, because she looks a little bit like a chocolate chip cookie with all those round spots on her, doesn't she? She's a chocolate chip cookie, so she's Cookie Monster, so Cookie for short. Now I'm going to put her in her new home. Okay, we're going to be careful so that you don't fall out of my hands. Okay, let's see if she'll go into one of these hides right away. It's okay. I got to be careful not to do what I did with Elmo and let her get away. Yeah, I'm going to keep these probes out of there for now, and I'll use the temp gun. She went right into the warm hide, so I'm going to put this on. It has a locking top. Anyone who's kept snakes, they either say they've lost a snake, or it's got out, or they're a liar. Because animals are excellent at getting out. I even lost one forever in this apartment once. Don't tell my neighbors. That was a long time ago. Okay, I think she's ready. She's good. Oh, and for a little extra security, put on this top. Yeah, she maybe could climb some of that stuff over in the corner, but I think she'd have a hard go of it because it's so slick. And when she gets to the top, I don't know if she could fit through this or not. I have the clips, I could clip it down, maybe I'll do that. But I thought this would be a little more secure than just having her out open in the pencil box as it is. So that's that for today. I'm going to just leave her alone for quite a while now. In 3 days or so, I'll probably feed her. But baby snakes, what they need is security and to be left alone. So that's exactly what I'm going to do.